And to see that this child is still lacking infant development is horrible. And apparently he's still drinking out of a bottle. But to know that this child cannot even sit up or walk on his own without any support is just terrible. We watched her in real time destroy this child while she was pregnant. The drinking, the smoking, the fighting, constant drama. For this to be your first child, your first pregnancy, and that's what you do to your baby. The type of destruction and disability she brought upon this baby is something he has to live with for the rest of his life. Bro, like, I ain't scared of nobody. You can say whatever. You can say whatever. For real, you can say whatever. You got something to say, I'm gonna say it. Feel me? Like, you can say whatever. But I'm telling y'all, it's about to get real serious. And I think if I put this PSA out, is either gonna try to act like I ain't say this?
It seems like Chrisean Rock is finally facing a tough reality, as she just admitted that what people have been pointing out about Chrisean Jr. is actually true. Now she's being forced to take action and deal with his health problems. Many feel she should have done much earlier, even with everything going on. It's still hard for her to fully come to terms with the idea that she might have played a part in her son's condition. People close to her say the guilt is hitting her hard. She's been leaning on her faith for support and going to church for guidance. She's also been in contact with Blueface's mom, Clarissa, trying to get help from Jaden Alexis, the other mom, so their kids can build a bond and experience life as a real family. She's hoping that this might help improve the whole situation.
The doctor or whatever medical professionals at the time of his birth, they had stated that he would need medical treatment like surgery, steroid injections, etc. in order for him to start developing properly. For me, on the outside looking in, I seen that baby when he was born and I see him now, and his health has not been addressed.
The surprising part in all this is that for months, Chrisean kept denying that her son might need help, even though fans had been urging her not to ignore what was clearly visible. Some of her own friends and people close to the situation, who've spent time around Chrisean Jr., said he wasn't reaching the typical milestones for his age. People naturally began comparing him to Halo, who's nearly 2 now and has become a favorite online with his adorable personality. Everyone remembered when Chrisean gave birth live on Instagram, and every time she went live afterward, her baby was either in her arms or somewhere nearby. That's when people began noticing things like a lack of head movement and no real hand-eye coordination. But what really made people concerned was one moment when she was live defending the Blueface tattoo on her face, and her son started crying in the background. The sound was so odd that it reminded some people of a wounded animal. That's when fans flooded her comments, begging her to take him to a doctor immediately. Despite the concern, Chrisean brushed it off. She acted like people were just trying to tear her down as a new mom. She kept sharing videos of herself and her baby, insisting everything was fine, and accusing others online of projecting their negativity onto her child.
Y'all don't know nothing about God, and y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that. So I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child, to be honest. But I like this shit, bro. You know why? Because all the glory to God, bro. Like, y'all gonna be looking real stupid.
But people weren't letting Chrisean off the hook. There were plenty of times she was seen out partying and drinking a latte during her pregnancy. That's what really got folks talking. One moment that stood out was when she broke down in tears during an ultrasound at 5 months pregnant. The doctor had just told her it was too late to end the pregnancy, and that news hit her hard. That scene stuck with a lot of people and made them even more concerned about her choices.
The face, that's the lower lip, upper lip.
Whoa.
You are 20 weeks pregnant.
Was it too late?
Yeah, it's too late.
Wow, I'm not talking to you.
That wasn't the end of it. Fans began taking a closer look at the videos. Chrisean was posting and started pointing out that her son showed several features commonly linked to fetal alcohol syndrome. Online health experts even weighed in, saying he seemed to have many of the physical signs like small eyes with folds in the corners, unusually large and low-set ears, a flat midface, and a head that looked smaller than average. That unusual, high-pitched cry people heard in those videos was also something associated with alcohol withdrawal in newborns. Another thing that got attention was how, in many photos, his pupils reflected white instead of red, which can be a sign of possible vision problems. That might explain why he didn't try to grab things unless they were placed directly in front of him. People also pointed out that he hadn't been seen walking, talking, laughing, or doing other typical things that a child his age too should be doing by now. As more and more people started calling her out, Chrisean gradually removed her son from the spotlight, saying it was to protect his privacy. But many felt it was just her way of avoiding criticism and shifting attention away from what people were saying lately. She's been going to church more often and has been bringing her son along, which is one of the rare chances people have had to see him again since she pulled him offline. But even in those recent clips, fans noticed there hasn't been much change in his development. That's why a lot of people believe her talk about privacy was more about dodging responsibility. At the time this video is being made, he's just a few months away from turning 2, and there's still a noticeable delay in where he should be developmentally. Sure, some may say that she's not the first parent to have a child with special needs, but what's really upsetting people is the belief that her choices during pregnancy may have played a part in this. And now, instead of taking full accountability, it feels like she's just hoping for a miracle to fix everything.
I'm sure we all in agreement now that it's a lot of things that this baby is going to be suffering from or hindered doing because of the shit Chrisean was doing while she was pregnant. Drinking, smoking, partying. And to be quite honest with y'all, I think what make it worse and what make everybody more mad at Chrisean is the fact that, one, she still denies it. Not just leave it alone. She denies that she did anything wrong while pregnant. On top of, it doesn't seem like seeking any help for this.
It seems like Chrisean might be starting to see that she didn't handle things the best way. She's now trying to backtrack and get her son the care and support he really needs for a long time. Things weren't good between her and Blueface's mom, Clarissa, or with Jaden Alexis, Blueface's other child's mother. The tension had been there ever since Chrisean got pregnant while Jaden and Blueface were still in a relationship. But now, Chrisean appears to understand that raising her son isn't something she can do alone. She's starting to realize how important it is to have a solid support system around her. That's why she's trying to let go of past issues and asking Clarissa and Jaden to do the same. All so her son can be surrounded by family and feel that connection.
Clarissa, I'm sorry. Jaden, I'm sorry. Who else? I apologize to that whole side of people. I'm just sorry because I really care about my son, bro. And I know he'll be thriving better with his siblings too. And Carlos, you got me blocked on Instagram, so I can't follow you. But girl, you could come get your grandson for when he come home in August. So he'll have all his kids there. I literally want to take myself out of the situation and then just receive whatever God has in store and what purpose he has for this whole thing to work out.
Even with all the steps Chrisean is taking now to help her son, people still feel she's avoiding the one thing that really matters: public accountability. They believe she's acting like she didn't know what was going on all this time, when in reality, the signs were clear. A lot of people are convinced she had the baby just to keep Blueface in her life. From her time in the hospital to moments where her son's back appeared to be bending unnaturally, to reports of her missing his medical appointments, the internet has been harsh. Many feel like her actions showed she wasn't fully invested in her son's well-being. Some are even saying they can't stand to see her anymore, and their anger grows every time they see her child. There's a strong belief that she knows she's responsible for his struggles and that behind closed doors, she's in deep emotional pain. Still, instead of facing the truth head-on, she seems to be clinging to hope and prayer. The big question now is, will Chrisean ever truly admit how her choices during pregnancy may have affected her son? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned because there's more on the way. See you in the next video.